Go.
This is a Mr. Nuke channel! After going to watch Spider-Man Brand New Day, I got inspired to play the Insomniac Spider-Man games. And at first, I was having a blast playing the first Spider-Man game and enjoying how much of a masterpiece it is. And then I played Spider-Man 2, and it all switched up. Spider-Man 2 was a big letdown. Spider-Man 1 is such a great Spider-Man game, and Spider-Man 2 is just underwhelming sequel. One of the things that really bothered me while playing Spider-Man 2 was how bland and lifeless the characters felt. They aren't interesting at all. They don't talk to each other like how actual people talk to each other who've known each other for a lot. They talk to each other like if they're reading off a script, and I know the voice actors are actually reading off a script, but I shouldn't notice that. I want to feel like the dialogue is real and it's not some fake corporate shit. Like, I want to see two good friends talk to each other, not two friends trying to talk to each other as clean as possible because their parents are right there. It's so boring hearing them talk to each other. To me, it's the most frustrating with Miles. He should be the most expressive out of all of them, but it sounds like his lines were written by some older white person thinking of how a black teen probably speaks and failing horribly to write anything good. He doesn't sound like a young person from Brooklyn or Harlem. He sounds like a freaking geek. Like, why couldn't they just do what they did with the Spider-Verse movies? And there, he actually feels like he's from New York. He speaks like an actual teenager, not someone speaking all corporate for no reason. And I don't know what happened between the first Spider-Man game and the second. In the first game, the dialogue actually felt real. It had life. Yes, you can totally go back and look for moments where the dialogue felt bad, but most of the time, all the characters actually felt real. You cared for what would happen to them. Like with May, when she dies, I was devastated because she was written good. And when you saw her die, you felt for Peter. But when Harry goes into that coma, I didn't feel anything. It didn't stick with me because Harry was not interesting. The moments with him don't feel as big as the moments with May. Harry was bland and boring. All the characters were written how I write my emails to teachers. Plain and professional, no personality. That's the biggest downfall of Spider-Man 2. The characters are lifeless. Of course, not everything wasn't bad. I think seeing how Martin Lee regrets everything he did in the first game and redeems himself was very nice. Also, Kraven was a good character. You actually got to see how crazy he is and obsessed he is with having his last hunt. But those are villains. One thing the game does very well was the villains. They're actually cool. Even though I really don't care for Harry, Venom is actually a cool villain. The way villains look and sound in the Spider-Man games are actually really good. I forgot, but Sandman is a character I grew to care about with the side missions where you find shattered pieces of his mind. You hear him worry about his daughter and the hunter stalking him. They did a good job with the villains. They were done pretty good in both games. But the rest of the characters, not so much. In Spider-Man 2, there's moments where the main good characters have good moments that don't feel bland. Like when Miles shows off that horrible suit that he uses throughout the end of the game. But anyways, Miles and Peter have a heart-to-heart about how Peter doesn't want to lose Harry. And it's very sweet. And it's a very sweet moment between the two. It doesn't feel bland. And also the moments with Mr. Osborn when he's scrambling for a cure actually feels sad. He actually feels like a father trying to desperately find a cure to save his son, but failing each time. He actually seems desperate. I wish they did more of that with all the characters. Like, why couldn't all the characters be more alive other than just being plain and boring? It's just so frustrating because Spider-Man 2 had everything to be better than Spider-Man 1, close to, but it failed just horribly. Not horribly, badly. But even then, it's still bad. The character design for these characters are just so boring. Again, Miles, he isn't cool. In the Spider-Verse movies, he's cool. He has the swagger of a young black teen. But in the game, he has a shit haircut. No Balenci, no Rick Owen. He's whack. There's nothing cool about him. Peter seemingly lost all his personality in this game. Yes, his aunt passed and he's going through a lot, but he's only really interesting as a character when he has the black suit. Other than that, he's boring.
Why don't you pop some more pills and see what you really feel?
Hey!
Harry's just there because he needs to be there. His character isn't special. I feel like Harry wasn't given enough time for us to really care for him. Yes, he's spoken about in the first game, but barely. Mostly through the science side missions where he would speak about whatever we had to do. but he kind of just became a boys, nothing more. You didn't care for him through these side missions. You didn't bond to Harry. When he first shows up to MJ and Peter, it's nice, and we get a cool flashback mission where Peter and him broke into school for a project. And when Harry showed the Emily May Foundation to Peter, that was a good moment, but you aren't given much more after that to care for him. And if there was moments, they weren't memorable enough for me to care about Harry. Maybe for you it's different, but that's just my opinion, so don't cancel me for it. And finally, MJ. I feel like they did her so wrong in this game. She was all over the place. One moment she seems to be doing good, and one moment she's not doing good. Like a moment where her character shines the brightest was when Peter, MJ, and Harry went to the carnival, and they all seemed pretty happy. It was nice to see. But mostly when she turned into Scream and fought back against her hate and frustration, and was able to escape the symbiote in Spider-Man. In Spider-Man 2, she was mostly just a nothing burger. She was always just there on her laptop, but in Spider-Man 1, she was cool and interesting and had good moments. But in Spider-Man 2, I feel like she was just wasted and was just there. Holy shit, I remember something on Miles again. I'm so pissed off about him. In Spider-Man Miles Morales, we got to see him become more confident, but in Spider-Man 2, they threw that shit out the window, and he's Latino and black and has no fucking swag. He's written to be a geek. And I just remembered during the carnival mission, Miles goes into the Mysterium attraction and has this whole DJ thing. He said, now we outside.
Now we outside.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Whichever motherfucker wrote Miles' lines needs to be fired and never hired again, because the assassination of all his progress he had through the games was just killed off in this game. And it pisses me off so much because it's a fucking disgrace. Like, the amount of things they fucked up with these characters and the general vibe of the game is insane. Why does Peter's and MJ's relationship feel so weird? Like, they have no fucking chemistry. Like, when they went to the carnival, it was a nice moment between the three, but it just seemed like three platonic friends going out, not a couple and a friend going out. Their relationship is so weird and bad. You know something I just realized? Peter got his ass beaten so much. Like, he was made to be so weak, and I understand Miles is going to be the main Spider-Man, but bro, how is the OG Spider-Man so weak? It's annoying seeing him get blasted across the room and that being the thing that puts him out. Why is Peter so nice? Like, he doesn't even have any grit about him. When he had the black suit, he wasn't even that bad. He was just became slightly more rude. Like, Peter is supposed to be sassy and nice, but not some super nice guy. You would think after years of fighting all those villains and being through so much, he would be a little gritty, but no, he's playing it nice. I don't know if I'm the only one that felt this, but the game felt pretty empty. Like, there wasn't much going on. In the first game, Peter was dealing with Lee, MJ, Otto, Silver Sable. The world of Peter felt alive and busy. And in Spider-Man 2, there was nothing to worry about, really. There wasn't a villain causing chaos between the main two villains. In Spider-Man 1, there was always some shit going on. Killing off Peter's villains will bite Insomniac in the future, because who will be Miles' villains? Like, who will it be? Tarantula? That would be lame as shit. Now, I feel like it's time I talk about what I liked about Spider-Man 2, because if I keep going on about what was bad, I will go on for ages. The villains Kraven and Venom, and I guess Sandman too, just because he was the first one we fight, even though Sandman is only really part of the main story in the beginning. His side missions where you get the pieces of his mind were cool. We got to hear him talk about his daughter and him being paranoid about the hunters. And by the end of it, we learned that his daughter is safe and the hunters never got to her. Kraven is actually a cool villain if you ignore the fact that Spider-Man's biggest villains got killed, and Insomniac will most likely regret this in the future. You very quickly see that Kraven is not a joke, and we get to learn how insane he is with his hunt and trying to find the thing that kills him, which is Venom. We also learn about his family if you do the hunter side missions and find the main bases. When you finish the base, you get to hear a voicemail about his family, which is cool and adds depth to him and makes him even more crazy. And Venom is my favorite out of the two. Kraven or Venom, his design is awesome, with the big spider wrapping around him, and also made Harry's story a little more interesting. Venom taking over Manhattan and the symbiote growing all over the place was one of the coolest things they've done, and also his boss fight is my favorite out of the two games. And something else I liked was the combat. It was totally more of an upgrade from the first game. It was more smooth. It seemed like there was more like things going on, like Spider-Man was doing more, and the swinging was also way more fun. Like if you go on TikTok, you can find videos of people doing crazy stuff and finding like weird ways to like move across the map super quick. Like the web wings added so much to just traversing around the map, and it made it really fun. When I was first playing through Spider-Man 1, when doing all of this, I would like catch myself pressing triangle because of how much I would use the web wings. They just made things more smooth and convenient. From the top of my head, that's all I can really think about. The combat challenges are fun with the Mysteriums and the other stuff you can do. This game has so much potential, but what they did to Miles and making Peter weak for no reason, and having a villain that had not much emotional depth to him, made this game feel like there was more that was supposed to be there, and it felt half-assed. Right now, you're probably thinking I hate this game, but I don't. There's still a good amount of things good about this game. I had a good time playing, but that doesn't mean I can't criticize Insomniac for half-assing this game and not delivering a good story. When I was looking at videos of people criticizing Spider-Man 2, people protected it by saying that the person is just negative and they can't enjoy anything. That is such a stupid argument. People like that are just allowing Insomniac to make a bad story and letting them get away with it. People need to realize that if you want a good quality story, you need to let it be known, because Spider-Man 2's story is just not as enjoyable as it should be. From what I know, Insomniac haven't said anything about a third game. They set up Doc Ock and Mr. Osborn to be the next villains. I really hope that they don't drop the ball again and make Spider-Man 3 as bland as this, but we can only wait and see. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Tell me in the comments what you agree or disagree with, and bye.